Yeah, we play it all in night. Yeah, need it all in advance. The opposition know we're ready for it. Like a supper we eating, it won't be the last. Grind all the muscle, pull up. Parker right on the grass. We coming in, take over everything, run it up. Nothing holding me back. 3 in the wood, rushing.
We have our 4 teams in the college football playoff. We got Alabama at 1. We have Michigan at 2. We got Georgia at 3. And we have Cincinnati at 4, leading to some good matchups. Who do you have winning these semifinal rounds and why?
All right, so I guess I'll start with Cincinnati versus Alabama. All right, y'all. I understand Cincinnati has averaged 40 points. I understand they're undefeated. I understand that they're in the college football playoffs for a reason, and this will be great for any G5 team if they show up and be competitive. However, I just saw what Alabama did to what was supposedly the best defense in college football. I saw what Bryce Young just did to the supposedly best defense in college football. And Cincinnati's defense isn't bad, but it's not close to Georgia's defense. So even though Mechie is going to be gone, Jameson Williams is still a person. And you saw what he did to the secondary of Georgia's defense. And really, I'm going to give credit to Cincinnati, especially for the quarterback, because their quarterback is definitely better than Stetson Bennett, and he's a dual threat. So Alabama cannot come in there and sleep on them. They're going to have to play defense. But I don't think it's going to be as competitive as everyone is making it out to be. I think Alabama is going to win. So I'll move on to Michigan versus Georgia. If Georgia comes and plays like they played against Alabama, Michigan definitely has a chance to win. But I don't know if Michigan's offense is going to be able to move the ball effectively against Georgia, because what's one thing that Michigan loves to do? They love to run the ball. And Georgia has a really good run defense, as we've seen before. The best bet to beat Georgia is going to be to pass the ball. I believe the quarterback is going to have to throw for over 300 yards. And I believe that you're basically going to have a Heisman level quarterback, as we saw in Bryce Young. You look at Cade McNamara, my bad. He has a decent completion percentage, but he doesn't really stretch the field like a Bryce Young does. And he kind of reminds me of Stetson Bennett in a way where he kind of just game manages the game. When you look at the 2 games he played recently, against Ohio State, he was 13 for 19, 150 passing yards, and Iowa State, 16 for 24, 150 passing yards, 1 interception, and 1 touchdown. If he keeps those numbers going against Georgia, I think it's going to be an easy win for Georgia. So now Michigan does have a really good defense. So if Stetson Bennett and Cade McNamara comes to a point where they can't score or they can't throw the ball, and it's just to a point where the defense is the driving force of the game, I think it's going to go back to the game at the beginning of the season with Georgia and Clemson, where it's just going to be whoever scores first or which defense scores as well.
I'll hop in, man. Shoot, let's get it. So, Bama. All right, let's just get into it, man. Let's get into Bama Cincinnati. Let's knock this out the way. This is an unserious football game, y'all. I'm gonna just tell y'all this right now. Like, I know folks are like, they're undefeated, everything. Let's look through their schedule real quick, shall we? We got, a nice little impressive victory over Miami, Ohio. All right, that's cool. We got Murray State. We got Indiana. We got Notre Dame. Honestly, Notre Dame, bro. Notre Dame is also another team that I have many things to say about. But I'm going to keep going. We got Temple. Lord have mercy. 52-3. Okay, so at least they're blowing these teams out. We got UCF. Navy, they beat Navy by a touchdown. All right. We got Tulane. We got Tulsa, USF, SMU, East Carolina, Houston. This is unserious. I'm telling y'all this right now. Bama is going to steamroll this football team. Honestly, I don't know what the line is right now, but it should be at like 24.
It's at 13.5 right now.
That's it? That's insane. That's insane to me. I might have to make a move on that because, bruh, it's not happening. Like, I know folks are looking at the tape, and I've seen the tape since he does his thing against those teams, though. This is SEC football, and all of y'all know how we get down SEC football. And the physicality, along with the athleticism, just on the line of scrimmage alone, it's just different. And like you'll see, like I want y'all to pay attention to the very first snap and watch Cincinnati's heads pop back on the line of scrimmage. Just watch. They ain't faced a beast like this, y'all. All right, so with my dogs, listen. Like I said earlier, Stetson, man. Even with Stetson, I feel like there's a chance, just a chance, man. But like, all it takes in this game is a few explosive plays. That's all it takes. All it takes is like maybe 5 to 7 of them. That's all it takes. And Stetson Bennett is damn near a turnover machine. And because of that, Michigan could definitely take advantage of it. And we've seen throughout the course of the season that Michigan is opportunistic. I mean, like, we've seen their D-line, and we know how they get down. So hopefully this O-line gels together and holds it down, because I'm gonna just keep it a bug. I think Stetson's gonna start. They're gonna start Stetson Bennett. I'd like to see JT Daniels start. Everyone's like, start JT, free JT, free JT. Stetson Bennett's gonna start. Writing's on the wall. I knew after the Florida game, after that performance, that he was gonna start the rest of the season. So Godspeed to the Dogs. I believe that they will still get this victory by a touchdown. So let's roll with, I'd say like 20-13. Go Dogs.
Okay, when I think about Alabama and Cincinnati, I know if y'all guys were already throwing every metaphor out there. If you guys have seen the movie Friday Night Lights, you guys go check it out if you haven't seen it. So at the end, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a certain point in the movie where the Texas team gets to the championship that everyone's revered, and they play in this league, and they have to go against the guys from the other side of the county. These rougher guys named Carter High School, and these guys are huge. They play a physical brand of football, and it shocks them immediately. I feel like this is exactly what's going to happen, and I feel like you won't even see the Alabama you saw versus Georgia. I feel like Alabama's going to run the ball effectively on the Cincinnati team, and they haven't run effectively on anybody all year. I feel like this is going to be more of a grit and grind game, and I feel like Bama's going to let loose later on in this game. I don't really expect it to be close. If Alabama comes in there sleepwalking, maybe Cincinnati can do a little bit of something, but I really see Alabama dominating this game. Where the most interesting game to me is this Michigan and Georgia game right here, because to me, it's a mirror match. These are the exact same teams. You talk about teams that are focally based on running the ball and defense. That's exactly what Michigan is. That's exactly what Georgia is. And I'm giving the slight edge to Michigan, believe it or not. You guys talk about Stetson Bennett. I don't know if he's gonna win. Like I said, it's only a couple plays away from a touchdown game or not, really, because I feel like the first team to really score a couple touchdowns, this game is over. The defenses are too good. You look at the way Michigan's been playing defense over the past couple weeks. They slowed down that Ohio State team. They showed out when it mattered. They've been playing playoff football for a while too. So I really wonder, how is Georgia going to bounce back? This is their first loss, but it's a late loss. You know what I'm saying? What is Kirby Smart going to tell the team to rejuvenize and keep the energy up? Because they were all riding high in the SEC championship, and they took a big hit. Their strongest suit was broken down by Bryce Young. How are they going to respond? And I'm worried about the response from Georgia, because we've never seen them get hit like this before, and I wonder what they're going to do in this game. That's why I'm taking Michigan. Aiden Hutchinson, watch out for him in this game. He finished as a top 4 Heisman finalist. I feel like his hands will be all over this game, and that's why I have Michigan by an edge. I'll probably give him it by like 3 points or so.
I'm going to start off. Y'all all started with the Bama-Cincy game, so I want to start off with the Michigan-Georgia game, because why not? I agree with everything y'all are saying. These are basically two teams that are exactly the same. They win through defense and they win through running the football. The question then becomes, who do you trust more, Cade McNamara or Stetson Bennett? And in all honesty, I don't necessarily trust anybody more. So I'm instead going to go with, whose weapons do you trust more? And that is why I'm leaning a little bit towards Georgia, because Blake Bowers as a tight end is different. I've very rarely seen a tight end catch a slant or a post pass and run away from defensive backs like he did in my Yellow Jackets. So if we're looking at this game, Hassan Haskins is probably going to be a problem. He is that good of a player. Michigan's going to run the ball. UGA is going to have to stop him. And I think that they'll be able to get back. I know we haven't seen him get punched in the mouth, but I don't want to just suddenly sell all my stock in Kirby Smart as a head coach. I think Kirby's going to find a way to get him right. I have a lot of faith in UGA because I've seen them play well through a very long time. So I'm going to go with them just because they are coming off an embarrassment on national TV. I think that that's going to be the biggest driving factor here because Michigan is really just kind of like, I know that Jim Harbaugh isn't going to have them like this, but they're just happy to be here. You know, nobody expected them to be here. They were like 2-5 last year, 2-4. They weren't expected to be this good. Anyway, moving on to Bama versus Cincy. Cam, you said you referenced a movie, correct? I like to reference movies too. I'm a movie guy. I enjoy it. I'll say this about movies. I hate sequels. I hate sequels and I hate reruns. They're terrible because they're never as good as the original. So I already picked Georgia. And I've seen enough movies and I'm a pro wrestling fan. I know that the good guy always wins. The bad guy, the big bad bully always goes down. Man, call it faith, call it a Hail Mary, call it me believing in good stories. Give me Cincinnati. Maybe I'm doing it because I want to make this show different. Maybe I'm doing it because I want to see what y'all was going to say. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I have the faith. I have the faith. Cincinnati might be happy to be here, but Cincinnati has a reason to show up to this game and win this game. They're playing this game, not just for them, for every group of 5 team. This is for UCF. This is for Houston. This is for all those great teams that they said, well, like Jason was saying, their strength of schedule was terrible. They're not gonna, they're not that good of a team. I'm looking at this and I have my reasons. All right. I think one of the main reasons that UGA was not able to beat Alabama, as I pointed out, they couldn't get pressure. Cincinnati's got Myjai Sanders, who is an NFL first-round prospect on a lot of draft boards. They've got an experienced second level with Joel Dublanco and Darian Beavers. They are both super seniors. They've been around since 2017. They know how to play the game of football. And their secondary, they've got talent back there. Don't let nobody confuse you. Sauce Gardner is a legitimate cute cornerback, first-round cornerback prospect in the NFL. Kobe Bryant, second or third round. And then you've got Bryant Cook at safety. They have talent back there. And arguably, I think that's going to be the difference here. I think they've got the talent to cover Alabama's one current receiver right now in Jameson Williams. Yes, Cam, I never interrupt you, man. What's up?
Alabama won't have to throw the ball. Like, I don't think it's even have to go to that. Like, I really think they're going to be able to run the ball in this game. Just like all the things you said about the secondary are cute, but like, have you seen a group of 5 team play an SEC team before? Like, it looks. Have you saw Notre Dame play Alabama before? You saw what that was.
Respectfully, I think Sauce Gardner's gonna have a good game, but Lord have mercy. Continue.
Listen, you want me to give you guys proof here? I take you back to January 1st, 2021, Peach Bowl, Cincinnati UGA. Took a last-second field goal for UGA to win, but I thought they were an SEC powerhouse, right? Well, Stetson Bennett must have had a bad game. Stetson Bennett didn't play. JT Daniels played in that game. 26 of 38 for 392 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But Cincinnati was able to hold him to 45 rushing yards. But who did they have? Well, they had Zamir White, the guy that they have right now. George Pickens was even in that game, and he had a good game, but Sauce Gardner wasn't playing. So all I'm saying is we've seen Cincinnati play an SEC team. And Cincinnati was in that game the entire time.
Josh, I don't know if you've watched a lot of bowl games. SEC teams don't care about bowl games. I've seen UCF beat Auburn. I've seen Alabama lose to Utah. Sure. But that Auburn team was on its way to the playoffs. I've seen Utah beat Alabama in 2011. I've seen a lot of crazy things because teams aren't inspired. If the bigger teams don't really care about those bowl games. If all Georgia Stars was on go, and this was a playoff game, Cincinnati, this is a totally different story for Cincinnati. I don't think you could really pay attention as much to bowl games as you do as these championship games.
I'm just saying, UGA had everybody playing in this game. I'm looking at Nakobe Dean. I'm looking at Azeez Ojulari. I'm looking at Adam Anderson. I'm looking at Jordan Davis, Tyson Campbell. They had everybody in that game. So, I mean.
Bowl game.
But they had everybody, Cam. I'm just saying.
It's just, Josh, like you made the reference to you're a wrestling fan, right? And the good guy always wins. Well, let me just say this. I'm a pro wrestling fan as well, and obviously you've never seen the match where they're in a match and the good guy's about to win, but then the bad guy comes out with the money in the bank and just ruins everything, right? That is exactly what Alabama is going to be for Cincinnati, and I believe that when you as you alluded to, Jason, about the toughness of schedule, the hardest game they had was Notre Dame.
I'm saying Notre.
I'm just saying, how you talk about the bowl game, Cincinnati. I'm just saying, I don't think it helps them to go to a game like this against Alabama and get whacked. You're better off just going to a bowl game and just winning the bowl game.
They didn't really have a choice.
I think, Josh, we're about to see what physicality is. What's the difference? I think recruits are going to show. Bama has 5-star recruits. Recruits are about to play in a big margin. You're about to see the difference between SEC football and Conference A football. You're about to see a difference. I think it's going to be a main difference. It's going to be a platform. I hate that Cincinnati had to go through this, but I just see it's going to be a rough game between them and Bama. It's going to be hard to see. Bama's third string running back to me is still getting off on Cincinnati. It's going to be rough slaying for them. Jason, we love you as a guest. Do you have anything to say to the people to take over?
Honestly, I really don't have much to say. Be sure to like and sub to this channel, man. Oh, shoot. They invited me. They showed love, and they do their thing. Well prepared, the whole nine. So, yeah, show this pod some love, man. Real talk. Be sure to follow me on my Twitter, at Jason Hewitt 50. Be sure to check out NewsBreak if you're a content creator out there and you want to make some nice bread, making some quality work. Hey, reach out to NewsBreak. But that's pretty much it for me.
I have to throw this in because I didn't get to throw it in last time. It's been 34 days since the Atlanta Braves won the World Series. I do believe Jorge Soler's home run is still in orbit. I think it might have hit an astronaut a couple days ago. And it has also been 34 days since the Houston Astros scored a run. So we still got that going for us.
All right, you all good. That's going to wrap up our episode today. We might end up breaking this into 2 episodes, but Takeover out. We had a good episode. See you guys next time.
Hey, champ. Yeah, we play it all in night. Yeah, need it all in advance. The opposition know we're ready for it. Like a supper we eating, it won't be the last. Grind all the muscle, pull up. Parker right on the grass. We coming in, take over everything, run it up. Nothing holding me back. 3 in the wood, rushing. I don't like Dutch, don't even matter, you know I'm facing. When I roll a paper, I like to go double. Run up a check, flip a W, make it an M. I need